Ladies and gentlemen, from today onward, we are starting a brand new Endgame series based on one of the most respected chess books ever written, Silman's Complete Endgame Course by international master Jeremy Silman. This book is designed to teach you the exact endgame knowledge you need for your current chess rating, step by step, without overwhelming you with unnecessary theory. From basic king and pawn endings to advanced endgame techniques, we will cover every important topic chapter by chapter. So whether you are a beginner trying to stop blundering winning positions or an improving player aiming to dominate endgames, this series is for you. So let's begin with the first section of the book, which is for unrated to 999 rated chess players. So chapter number 1, the overkill mates, which has the staircase, king and two queens versus lone king, king, queen and rook versus lone king, king and two rooks versus lone king, the box method, king and queen versus lone king, king and rook versus lone king, stalemate alert, and some tests and solutions. The staircase method: when you are up by two queens or a queen and a rook or even two rooks, you can create the staircase checkmate. When you are up by two queens in endgame like this, what you have to do is just to push the enemy king towards one side of the board. Like in this position, black goes king d8. So let's say I want to checkmate him on this side of the board. What I have to do is to push his king towards this side of the board. Some people call it the ladder mate. You can call it whatever you want. What you have to do is to make a ladder, or you can say to make a staircase. Let's say I go queen f5, king c7, queen e7, king b8, queen f7, king a8, and now we can mate him like this. Could have done like, let's say, king d8. You go queen d2, king c8, you go there, he goes there, you goes there, he goes there, you go there. That's a checkmate. You can do the same thing with a queen and a rook, but you have to be careful about one thing. Let's say the king is on e3. So what you have to do is rook b3. Now you can see the second rank is already covered by my queen. So king d4, queen a5, this, 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 and that's a checkmate. But the thing you have to remember, the queen is covering the rook, but the rook can't defend the queen. Let's say this was the position, king there, rook there, king there. Now you can't play queen b7 because the king just takes it. And you might know how to checkmate with the rook, but that's a different thing. Make sure your rook should be defended by your queen, so the king can't capture the rook. Queen d4, king e6, rook e5, king f6, queen f4, king g6, rook g5, king h6, and queen h4 mate. The things get harder when you try to do the staircase mate when you are up by two rooks. Something like this, king e4. And now if you try to play like you are up by two queens, and let's say you try to do the staircase method because XTN ROMAN taught you, but no, you can't. After rook f4, this rook doesn't defend this one and the king just takes it. Let's say instead of king there, he goes king there. You go rook e3, he goes there, you go there, he goes there. You still can't check him like this. He will always go to some type of square where your rooks can't check him out. When the king comes at the square where your rooks can't check, then you should be doing like this, putting your rooks far away from his king so he can't take it. So let's say even if he goes there, you go check, he comes there. What we do, let's put your rooks far away from his king. King there, rook b8 check, there. Now what you have to do, put this one, not this one. If you put this one, you can't, like in this position you can mate him like this, since he is forced to play king a5. But the safest point is to go rook c7, he goes there, we just go there, and he goes there, we goes there. That's a mate. The box method. You can do the box method when you are up by a queen or even when you are up by a rook. The goal is to imprison the enemy king in an ever shrinking box. Let's say in this position I go queen c4. Now black king can't go on the 4th rank, same as this side of the board. King f6, king d5. Always remember that you have to make a knight distance from his king to your queen, like this. This is a knight distance. King g7, queen e6. Let's say instead of going all the way back, his king tries to go there, like not going all the way back where he can get mated. So king f5, what you have to do, make a knight distance. This, and there will be a time where his king will be forced to go on the up rank. Make a knight distance. This, this. Now make sure in this position you don't make a knight distance by going on queen f7, because after queen f7 it's a stalemate. The black king doesn't have any legal squares. What you have to do, where his king only go on to these 2 squares like this, then you have to use your king. This. It's just a checkmate. And this one also. You can do the same thing when you are up by a rook, but you have to make sure the black king doesn't capture your rook. The same process, what you have to do is make an ever shrinking box. After rook e2, we just cut off the other side of the board, and now his king can only travel in this side of the board. So let's say he goes there, we go there, he goes there, we go like this. We could have done like this, but we did in a faster way. The point is, you have to cut his as many squares as you can in one move. You have to put your rook in a location where your king can also protect it. Let's say this, and now even if black king comes there to capture your rook, you go king there. This, you go there. This, you go there. This, and now you can't go rook there because the king just takes it. So what you have to do, just bring your king c2. But what if he goes there? Like if we check, he just, so what we have to do when he goes there, we can also move our king. This, and this, then you go there, he goes there, we go there. And after a certain point, you will always get a position like this, where your rook and king has forced your enemy king to the side of the board. Like in this position, the black king is forced to walk on the a file. So let's say he goes there, we go there, he goes there, we go there, he goes there. Now we can't go there because he just comes back. So what we have to do, just bring your rook. This. Let's say this. Now make sure you don't mess up with rook b7 by saying, yo, I just imprisoned my enemy king, now he can't go anywhere. But bro, after rook b7, literally his king doesn't have any legal squares and it's a stalemate. So what you have to do in this position, rook a6, it's just a checkmate. When you are up by a rook and doing the box method, make sure you don't put your rook on a square where his king can capture it. Make sure your king always defends it. You will often get this types of position where you can't even go there because the black will repeat the position, or you can't even go there because the black king just takes your rook. So what you have to do in this types of position, just put your rook way farther than his king. So let's say he goes there, Now go this side of the board, and when black gets the opposition again, we can just checkmate him. Let's say instead of getting the opposition, he goes there, we go there, he goes there, we go there, he goes there, we go there, and wherever he goes, it's just a checkmate. And let's say in this position we go there, and he goes, instead of chasing our rook, he goes there. You can see in this position our rook doesn't have as many squares as we needed, because after rook s7 his king can approach our rook. Now you can also cut his squares and go for a checkmate, but since we are looking for an easier way, we have to do something like this. Let's say he goes on a square where we don't have enough squares, or let's say we don't have enough space. Just waste a move with your rook like this. Now if he goes there, that's a mate, and if he goes there, then there's the same thing. This. We all know that when a king being checked but can't run anywhere or defend himself with any other piece, it's a checkmate. But what is stalemate? Stalemate is a position when a king is not in check but there is no legal moves on the board. All the squares are already covered by the enemy pieces. In this position, queen b2 is checkmate. All the squares are already covered by the queen, and black can't even capture the queen because it is defended by his king. So it's already a checkmate. But let's say in this position, instead of queen b2, white goes queen b3. Now it is a stalemate. Black king can't go anywhere, but black is not in a check, so it's not a checkmate either. Summing up. In the endgame, the enemy king can rarely be mated in the middle of the board. You almost always want to chase it to one of the four sides or to a corner. The staircase maneuver is the easiest way to make use of a lopsided material count, such as 2 queens versus lone king, queen and rook versus lone king, or 2 rooks versus lone king. The box is a technique that enables you to limit the enemy king's space. As you shrink the box, you force his king to eventually retreat to the side of the board, where you will finally be able to mate it. If you are left with a king and a queen, you can't mate with the major piece alone. You will need to use both your major piece and king to finish the enemy off. Tests and solutions. In this position, it's white to move, and white has mate in 4. Can you find it? Have a look and try to find it. You can pause the video. So the answer is rook goes b6. Anyway, this. It's a checkmate. In this position, it is white to move, and is it wise for white to go rook c7 and trap the enemy king on the back rank? Well, the answer is no. It's very bad, because after rook c7, it's a stalemate. Black king can't go anywhere. This g file is already covered by white's queen, and this 7th rank is already covered by the rook. In this position, it's white to move, and can you find the smallest box for the black king to trap in? Well, the answer is rook e4. Because after rook e4, the black king can't capture the rook, and it has to run in this box. In this position, it's white to move, and can you find the best way to checkmate the enemy king? Well, the answer is you have to waste a move. Rook g7, or let's say rook f7, or let's say even rook e7. Wherever his king goes, if he goes there, it's a checkmate. If he goes there, we go there, he goes there, we go there, it's a checkmate. In this position, it's still white to move, and the question is, can white capture the pawn on f6? Well, the answer is no, because after queen takes f6, there are no legal moves for black king. This is one of the most easiest puzzles to solve. It's white to move, and it is mate in 1. What you gonna do? Rook b7? No. Rook g8, it's a checkmate. Alright, congratulations, you have just finished the first section of the book. I hope you will reach the last section as well. And I don't have an exact outro. Have a great day.